question would be something to do with another aspect, angle to it. It's like in Kala Gyana Nirnaya,
Mhm.
which is by Masendranath and translated by Stella Jogi and uh, Shakti Mukhopadhyay. So in that book, in Patala 4 and 7, we get to see that Bhairav is having a dialogue with Beat Chamunda. So where he talks about that the scholar knowledge, the scholar
Mhm.
knowledge should not be shared with the wicked as well as the deceitful people
Mhm.
uh, that we get to see throughout the centuries, because they
Mhm.
might misuse the
Mhm.
tradition, they might misuse the power of the yoginis for
Mhm.
their vested interests, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, what is your opinion in terms of like, can a person really misuse the spiritual powers of the Chaucer yoginis and the Tasmahavidyas? And if so, then what would be the repercussions that one might get to see if they harness the goddess energy for their vested interests? And these are the main first, these are the two questions which I would like to ask, and then I'll go on to the next.
So the basically the very much the biggest example is the story of Milarepa. Like, he went to Marpa in order to study the occult science because he want to take revenge on his relatives, those who taken out the wealth he has acquired from his father. So this is the
Okay.
reason why he went to them in order to study the occult stuff. So basically, Marpa was kept on going. He was telling him, construct a house and destroy it, and construct another house and destroy it, and push the rock from here to there, and take it back to where it was there, and so many things, so many years. And over the years, the idea of the taking the revenge is
Hmm.
been gone out from his mind, and he become established in the self, and he is one of the biggest spiritual teacher, I mean, the in the centuries has ever seen. So even though the wicked people, what is the idea, whatever the idea they have, if they are serious
Hmm.
into that, like,
Hmm.
yoginis will take care, because the larger existence knows
Hmm.
what it has to be done with what exactly is happening, so
Hmm.
the thing is, like, in that is why there is also initiation process, just like, if people want to just to mess up with the thing or the
Hmm.
ideas, like, there is initiation process which I have already spoken, where I have tried to give the initiation to the larger initiation to somebody, and it was not succeeded because the existence was not allowing us to do what was to be done. So
Hmm.
the thing is, like, the universe knows what it has to be done in a way, when we are getting the key to change the universe, or when whoever is getting the key to change universe knows what has to be done with this particular person. This is what,
And it bounces back.
yeah, this
And
can.
so that bounce back is a repercussion that one might get if they try to he or she tries to harness the goddess energy in a negative way, right? That's what you're
Yeah.
trying to say. Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else that you want to add to this point?
No.
Okay. So in that case, how would you decide if the individual is eligible for this, esoteric study? Whether the person is eligible for it in that sense is like whether his or her natal chart would support the studies, or whether it would actually stop the person from getting into it. How do you decide? Do you see since you are into Vedic astrology as well, so do you read the natal chart of the person before allowing that person to get aligned with the tradition, or maybe before getting that person initiated in the tradition? Is that the way you do it when you're trying to get somebody initiated into the practice? How do you do
The initiation process, I have already
it? I mean, how
discussed.
do you decide? How do you decide?
like the basic initiation has been given to everybody, and the ability to advance on this particular practices is been largely decided by the uh, goddesses itself, like the
Mm,
because they will show it has to be
mm.
done, it should not be done in the, we call it as omen, like the that is why I shared this particular story where we
So
try
bad
to.
omen or good omen will actually come, and that's
Ha,
how
it will
you
stop.
decide.
It will stops to
Okay,
get give this particular initiation into this particular
okay,
point.
okay. So don't you actually go through the natal chart as well while going
Yes,
with thinking
there
about?
the spiritual advancement of the particular person can be decided. I mean, how good he can go through the yogini initiation can be read from his or her chart. Like we there. I think I had a podcast discussion with one of my another astrologer friend in the. He is from US. In my podcast session, you can see where we were analyzing the detailed chart of the Ramana Maharshi and the
Mm,
Nisargadatta Maharaj. These peoples were, if we look into the Advaitic Vedadic studies, these two figures are written a lot of book, and Ramana Maharshi is one of the biggest yogi which has been ever born. This is what we can see
mm.
if you look into their chart, and why it is like that. Like chart has different aspect, like one is natal chart, from there we can get d1, d2, d3, d4, d5, like
Right.
d108, like that we can derivate. So that particular aspect also is there, like it will give a hint, like this particular person is mostly eligible for the studies of the, I mean the
The
particular
yogini studies or the
yoga
das
studies.
Mahavidya
Yeah,
studies, right?
how well they can get into that, and how
Aligned.
fast they can grow up into this particular line is also is been is been can be read in the chart itself, like.
Yeah. Okay. So now I come to the end of the series of questions which I had in my mind and which
Mhm.
which we were discussing. So anything else that you would like to add? I don't have any more questions right now. So if you want to add anything else which you think it should be ideal for the people to know, for your audience to know, anything that you
At
would
this particular point right now, nothing else I want to add in this particular thing. But I think we have covered almost everything related to, I mean, the most of the questions which generally people are facing, I think. Yeah.
mm. And yeah, since I was actually I actually got initiated into the Chaucer Yogini tradition long ago in
Mm.
May 2017, and since then uh, I was actually doing the chanting and doing a lot of research on the subject. My teacher taught us 8 mudras when she got us initiated into the tradition in May 2017. And recently, I guess it is 7 days ago, you also taught me 10 mudras for the Das Mahavidya concept. And I see till now, I have seen quite uh, you know, as I've discussed with you already, I've seen quite a positive sensation till now. So, any, but my experience was really, till now, it is quite nice. And what I would like to tell people that whoever is interested in this tradition, want to get initiated into the tradition, whoever is interested in studying the subject, you can contact Arun VM through his YouTube link and his website. And yes, if you ask me, that my experience was quite nice, and you feel the presence of the goddesses when you start meditating. And yes, you need to have a clear mind as to what you want out of the studies. You should be focused on the studies. You should be focused on your well-being and not harming anyone, not thought of harming anyone. Only think about your own personal development, spiritual development, and the betterment for your family and your own self. I think as long as you think in that way, you'll not feel the wrath of the goddess. And that's what I feel. So if you have to say anything else to it, Arun, I would request you to say, what do you
Uh,
think?
yeah, thank you for sharing your experience, and maybe mostly it will be helpful for the people who want to walk into this path. And I would love to say that every experience can stop you from getting greater experience. Because why? Because mind has a tendency, if they get an experience, it will like to relate that particular experience to the new experience which is coming. So what happens
Hmm.
here is that the idea of the previous experience will stop from having the new experience fully. So don't cling to any sort of experiences, like from there we have to move forward. That is how we can get much more deeper and greater experience.
Into the studies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why my teacher says in the related to the Brahman, he who
Hmm.
knows about this, he don't have to seek. He who don't know about this, he don't know what to seek. And if you
Hmm.
think that you know this, then you really don't know. So this
Know
is the
anything.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is so this is
The main
the
crux of it.
yeah, this is really the deepest Upanishad wisdom, which from Kenopanishad. So yeah, so the Upanishad experiences are not different from the yogic, I mean the yogini experiences, and this is one of the fastest way which I found in my
Correct.
yeah.
And yeah, and each experience is a new experience.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
true.
If you want
Yeah,
to get
once,
the new experience, you should not cling to the previous
yeah,
experiences.
yeah,
The
it's better
moment
not to
you
cling, but you can actually go keep that
Mhm.
along with you and go on to the next level. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how it should be. Like
So
for
if you
me, it's
see the
Shastra
more
Yogini Namavali, and then now it is the Das Mahavidya, again a separate segment.
see,
So
like
that's how,
the it is something like the
step by step.
when you fall in love, the very first day or the first time, it is like
Mm.
so deep, like the butterflies are flying and all the emotions are coming out. So many things will happen, like but when you look into the next day, you relate this first experience with the next day. So the next day
Mm.
also same experiences which is deeper than that of the first experiences are actually happening, because of
Mm.
you are relating the previous experiences with the nower experiences. You will
Mm.
not be able to get the present experience that is happening.
That
you know
yeah. So it is like okay, it's you're trying to compare with the first and the
huh,
second day thing. That's what you're trying to say. So it's
yeah,
better not to compare and take each day as a or rather each experience as a new experience and a new learning, and also
exactly.
obviously the learning and the wisdom and obviously the blessings of the yoginis and the Dasamahavidyas, they all come together.